Madam Chair, Ranking Members Hyde-Smith, and other distinguished members of the subcommittee, thank you for calling this hearing today to discuss this important topic and for allowing me to testify. Again, my name is Christian Good, and I'm owner-operator of Christian Good Farms in Macon, Mississippi. Since my childhood, I've always been involved in our family farm in Noxubee County, raising corn, soybeans, cotton, beef cattle, and catfish. After graduating high school, I went to Mississippi State University to get my Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness. Although I grew up in agriculture, I established my own operation shortly after college. In 2020, my wife and I, Laura, had the opportunity to purchase our first farmland tract of around 125 acres with financing through the Farm Credit System. We have expanded to over 300 acres of corn and soybean production through long-term land leases. Farming in today's overall economic environment poses some real challenges for both beginning and experienced farmers. My fellow Mississippi farmers are facing one of the most difficult years in quite some time. First and foremost, our operating costs are at an all-time high. Inflated costs for seed, fertilizer, fuel, technology, equipment, and parts and repair costs continue to erode the profit headwinds for producers both young and old. Most farmers in my community made one of the best crops they've ever produced in 2023, and due to these record input costs, many still lost money. Second, the markets for the commodities that my farm produces are currently in a significant price downturn, yet are above the statutory reference prices established in the 2018 Farm Bill. In just 2 years, we have seen the market price for corn drop $2.40 a bushel, or roughly 35%. The same can be said of the soybean market that has dropped roughly 18%. The third economic challenge that all of us are facing is the rising level of interest rates on our farm operating loans. Just 4 years ago, interest rates in farmland, real estate loans, and farm production loans were between 3% and 4%. Now the same interest rate stands between 8% and 9%, more than doubling the cost of borrowing for agricultural producers. The current interest rate environment is a substantial roadblock to many producers to expand their operation as needed, and is certainly a challenge to many beginning and farmers and ranchers like myself. And finally, as we kick off the 2024 crop season, the lack of meaningful safety net that our current Farm Bill provides is a real concern for farmers in my community. The farm generally participates in price loss coverage (PLC) program provided by the USDA Farm Service Agency, designed to provide a price floor that we receive. The statutory reference prices in the 2018 Farm Bill are so outdated that I can confidently say that if I were to receive those prices for corn and for soybeans, my farm and my family's farm would be out of business. I highlight these challenges to provide some context into the importance of Congress passing a strong Farm Bill in 2024 for the future of all farmers, especially those beginning young farmers. I'd like to now give you my perspective on some of the numerous challenges that young and beginning farmers face in my state with Farm Bill programs and provide you with some recommendations to address some of these concerns. One challenge on my farm is having an adequate amount of base acres to allow for me to enroll in the FSA Price Loss Coverage Option program or other Title I risk management programs. My farm is roughly 2/3 underbased. My recommendation would be to devise some way for young producers to build base without adopting a policy for mandatory base updates. The House Agriculture Committee just recently marked up a Farm Bill provision that will allow producers a one-time option of building base on their current farming operation. For young farmers, this change would be monumental. Additionally, the House bill makes significant adjustments to the statutory reference prices for most commodities, bringing them more in line with today's market situation. Many young and beginning farmers in my state utilize the Farm Service Agency loan programs. These programs are designed to assist young producers with limited resources and assets to get started farming. My experience is that of others in my community has been that these programs are overly cumbersome, complicated, and require too much time to complete an application. My recommendation would be to simplify and streamline the application process. Additionally, the direct and guarantee loan limits should certainly be raised. The bipartisan PACE Act, introduced by Senators Klobuchar and Hoeven, makes sweeping adjustments adjustments to this USDA direct and guaranteed loan programs to make them more effective and responsive to farmers and ranchers. Crop insurance is also a vital tool used by young farmers and ranchers, but the premium cost for adequate coverage is a real challenge for young farmers. The Bipartisan Crop Insurance for Future Farmers Act of 23, introduced by Senators Klobuchar and Thune, extends the eligibility period from 5 years to 10 years for beginning farmers and ranchers, thus lowering their costs for crop insurance coverage. In closing, thank you for the opportunity to testify before you today. In my view, the most important thing that Congress can do is to help the next generation of farmers by passing a robust farm bill that strengthens the farm safety net and improves access to credit, risk management tools, and voluntary conservation programs. I look forward to working with you today to create a strong farm bill that provides sound policy for young and beginning farmers like me, and I stand ready to answer any questions that you may have.